Hello friends, welcome to hands-on session on the training program Adaptive Server Enterprise Performance and Tuning. Adaptive Server 16 version 16.0 Query Optimization. The schema, the default architecture we are going to use. So this is pubs2 database copy but minus foreign key and primary keys. There is no concept of keys in the database because that's what we are going to understand through the tuning. We are going to create all of them indexes, no index available, no primary key, no foreign key. The columns are same. Some extra rows have been added. We have these tables: title, author, titles, royalty schedules, then publishers, discounts, stores, sales details, sales, binary large objects, bulbs, and shipments and authors. This is a fictitious book publishing company. This is the database which I have created using select into queries from pubs2, which have removed all the indexes and the primary key and foreign key. Let's understand the environment. I'm working on my machine CentOS 7, Sybase 16 installed. Let's look at some of the environment variables which we have on this machine. Like if I use echo $Sybase, that will give me my home environment for my Sybase user. If I use login name $log name, that will show me my login ID. I'm logged in as Sybase user. If I see my current directory using $home, that will show me my current directory. And if I show my present working directory, I'm also working under /opt. If I want to see Sybase underscore ASE, that will give me the home directory for Adaptive Server Enterprise as Sybase 16 ASE-16 underscore 0. Now let's go to this directory, Sybase ASE. Of course, I need to start with Sybase /ASE underscore -16 underscore 0, and under that there's a directory called install. So if I use this directory to change cd command, I'm working under opt sap adaptive server 16 install directory. What we have in this directory is our main configuration file for the server, run server, backup server, and the command show server available here only. Let's investigate the command and the script which I have created in my environment. Let's investigate this run server command file. This is the script which is actually is a data server commands with all the parameters to start my server. Let's understand. -d means the device is master.dat under opt sap data. -e the logs, where the logs are captured. -c the configuration file which is referred. -m -n and -i and the server name -s. This is the data server command which starts my server. If I use show server, that will show me my both the servers are running, whether backup server, that is server BS, and the server, that is server. So both my servers are running in this. If you can see here, I have created some scripts here to start and stop. Let me show you those scripts also. In my home directory, there is a file. If I show you the command, the directory, the file I created here is Sybase start. This is the script which is actually looking after all tedious task of starting and stopping the servers and checking the status. Like I can use sudo systemctl status Sybase. That will show me the current status, and this is the conventional method of managing services and system services on Red Hat Enterprise Linux or CentOS Linux. So I'm using the conventional method of systemd scripts to start and stop and to manage my server. And how am I doing that? I'm going to show you that also. And I can restart here using sudo systemctl restart. and this will restart my server, and I can show you if there is no other session running. Of course, if there is another session running, then it may take time. So status, it will show me the command, how it is working. If you look at this, is calling this script, the device, the install script, where these are all mentioned. Let me show you. The script here is the Sybase start. So we need to investigate this script, Sybase underscore start. This is the Sybase start script, which is starting, stopping, or restart, or checking the status. So this is the max stack size I'm increasing. This is my server name. In my case, the server name is server itself, that is adaptive server instance. Accounts and password which I'm using, the environment variables which are there in my directory, which is in my $Sybase directory. I'm sourcing it with dot command source Sybase, sybase.sh, and then I'm starting putting this as an environment variable. That start server is basically the command from where the server will be started, that is start server, location of the start server command. And after that, I have written some functions, the uses parameter, base directory, directory name, and the write messages. The script must be run as a Sybase user, and the functions here, you can see the functions. Do SQL, this is to stop or to show the server, and this is start. This is the command which will start my server. Sybase start, starting Sybase service. Start server, the command output, the output of the environment variable, the value stored in that, and calling install run server file, and then displaying, and process ID is stored into the directory which is created specifically for this purpose, where the process ID will be stored. You can look at there here, run directory, under that sybase.pid. Under that, this directory will be created. If it is not available, it is created here once initially, first time only. So this is created with an mpid and .d under base name, whatever the directory name is, with this name it is created here. So after that, we are checking the backup server also. We are starting the backup server, and then stopping the server using normal SQL queries, and then showing the status. This is show the status, and then main logic of that, start, stop, restart, and help. So this is the script which is actually doing my stuff, starting and stopping the service. The script which is calling this program, user /lib/systemd/system. Under here you will see Sybase. This is the directory, and I need to show you the content of this file. This is the file actually which is starting the script. So this is the execute script which is being called by this script with start parameter. Type is forking. Process ID is located here. The PID. Execution stop. It will stop this, and timeout 300. Restart no. And Sybase user is Sybase. So what all was the requirement of my script to start and stop? It is mentioned in this file. Wanted by multi-users means whenever my system goes into multi-user, this will be started. So this is how I'm managing my Sybase script, Sybase system, Sybase server, the start and stop of Sybase server. Now let's log in into the server with ISQL command to check the status. ISQL-u SA Sybase server and 175. I can check the version with select at version. That will give me the current version, VERSION. Okay, I missed that. Let me edit it. With VI, you can directly edit that version. Yeah. Now I can use Go. That will give me the current version. So Adaptive Server Enterprise 6 Service Pack 4, and this is the build 64-bit. So this is my version. To see the devices, I can use sp_help device. Go. That will show me Again there's a typo, sp underscore help. Okay, clear command is not found. Of course, clear command is, there's no clear command. Sp underscore help device. That will show me all the devices where my databases are. So temp dev, then dump device, tape dump. So master device, I'm more interested into the master device. This is my master device where my master database is located. So this is how you can verify. Now what all databases I have, I can use sp underscore help db. That will show me all the databases I have. I have this database specifically created for this training, which is pub tune underscore db, the database I have. Now this is how we investigate. Now let's investigate this particular database only. So what I use, I added the command and I enter the database name here, pub tune underscore db. That will give me the details about this particular database only. Help db, pbtunedb, and this is the status of my database. So the devices, arguments, the space where it is located, the size, everything we can see. The free space and usage and created on which date. I created on May 17, means as of today I created the database when I'm delivering this, recording this lecture. Now to check who is logged in, I can use sp underscore who. The objective of this command is to see the SPID, that is the server process ID, and this is 25 here, where you can see the login name SA. My more focus is on the server process ID, SPID of this user. If you're not able to understand it, it's better we can start at DBISQL and you will see in a better way there. That will make it more presentable. So sp underscore who, that will give me the details, and here you can see the server process ID which I was referring to, that is sp underscore who. 26 is the server process ID which is I'm running right now. So I'm running on this with server process ID 626, and 24 is for this, and this is my current process right now, the process ID. Let's open another tab and run the same command. In fact, I can open another window here, a new window, and I will log in into that window and I select the same command if I use sp underscore who, and that should show me two server process IDs now, because I'm running two servers now. What is the status of the previous servers? Interestingly, now it is sleep and current server is 27. So I can see the server process IDs here. Now if I want to select the server process ID, I can use this command select at SPID. That will give me my server process ID, which is 27. If I run the same command in my previous session, I will give I'll get the right select at SPID. So every session I start, I'll get a separate process ID. And in the tab, if I open another tab here, let me open the tab here. This is my another tab, and I launch my system here. If I launch and I get the server process ID here, I'll get a different process ID. Select, because this is another session at SPID. Go. Now this is server process ID 28. So every session I create, I get a different server process ID. So I can use the server process ID SP. If I use sp underscore who with SA, that will show me what all server process IDs are there with respect to this login, that is SA user. I can use the same command here also, sp underscore who with login name. It will show me what all sessions are running for this process for this user, that is SA user, login name and original name. So 26, 27 and 28. This 27 and 28 are waiting for command. 26 right now the command is insert command, might be inserting somewhere. Okay, so this is the server process ID. Now let's use our database PruneDB, which I've created exclusively for this purpose, and let's select what all tables I have in this database. Let's investigate some tables on the database, what all tables I have. And this is a very good query to select all the tables in the current database. Select convert varchar 30 name as table name from sys_object O, where the type is U, order by table name. This will show me all the tables of my database. So these are the tables I have created. Multiple tables are created, multiple copies are created. Some are indexed, some are not indexed, some are partition, non-partition. So different type of tables I have created for this purpose, and that's the objective of this training. Require these labs. Now let's investigate a few more things on the directory. So here we are working on this. I just shown you the start script. The process ID is stored into this directory. I have investigated some other files. Let's use the interfaces files also. Interfaces files where the server, backup server, XP and JS agent, all these details are stored here. So I can log in with these host names. Now I have a directory called in this directory query 16, and I have created a lot of scripts here for this training. See, if you want the entire training, comprehensive training on this topic, you see various day 1, day 2, day 3, because I delivered this training for my corporate client. So I created these scripts for the training purpose. So there's no point just undergoing the theoretical session which you are watching on YouTube. It's better to go do the comprehensive hands-on training with these labs also. So this is a lab setup, first lab setup. This is day 2 lab setup, day 3, day 4 similarly, the putting the load on the server, then monitoring the server, and you see the queries being run. So these are the queries created for the purpose of hands-on labs, which are there in my training program. And there are more scripts created. As of now, not all the scripts are available on this machine. This is just to give you a demonstration. Now let's continue and let's do something interesting now here. Let's use work with pubtune database. So let's use the pubtune underscore db, and let's execute some commands. First is the command which I discussed theoretically, set statistics IO on. Go. Now let's select from titles the without index, without anything, the command which I created. So there are 18 rows in this, and you see the details. Titles can count 1, logical row count, physical row count. So similarly, now let's look at the command set statistics time on. So this time I'll use another query to see the database. Let me use VI editor, because there I will be able to copy paste the commands properly, that to save your time. So select count, distinct price, average price, minimum price from titles where type is computer. So let me run this command. Go. So this is the time which it has taken, and you see all the details: table, title, scan count, logical count, table, work table, scan count, physical reads, title, scan count, reads and writes, and the time elapsed. Now I can disable both these using set IO time off in one go, single command. Now let's use the show plan. Set show plan on. Go. And now we'll see some plans. Select count star from titles. Go. So this is the table scan happening, because I told you that I removed all the indexes, I removed all the keys. So right now what you're seeing is a scan is happening here, table scan is happening. Now let's use no exec, because right now it is executing the query. If I show you, it is executing the query and showing the results also. Here it is executing the query and showing the results also. If I don't want to see that, I can use set exec no on. So set no exec on means do not execute, and I run the same command again. If I run the same command again, it will not execute the command, but it will show me only the plan. Now the results are not shown, only the plan is shown to me. And I can disable both now, that is show plan and no exec off. I can disable both of them here. Set show plan no exec off. So I disabled them. Now if I use, I will get the output of the query, normal output of the query, and so this will show me the normal query output. This is how you can see. Now I can use the show plan with my server process ID, which is, I'm sure it is 28, and null, 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 and that will show me the status of what happens. I missed it. Okay, comma is required. Now it's good. So this I can show the process ID for my server process and the values. Now if I use the same query again, and I'll show the details. See, very interesting output here. All the details are visible. The show plan for the server process ID, for only that I have increased, and you can see the process ID, because for every value I am seeing that busy executive database, and this an overview of database. This is the content of that. This is the output of the query, right? I can see the details. 18 rows selected. So now what we need to do is we need to enable insert into this database. Let's open that VI editor, and I need to enable. So using master stored procedure sp underscore db option, I'm enabling select into for this database. I'm already working in pubstune underscore db database, and this way you have enabled the database option. Select into bulk copy pulls short turned on for the database pubstune db for this option. So now because I'm going to create some tables, and I'll show you some interesting stuff. So because I discussed Sybase tables and statistics tables, so let's look at the data currently on those tables. So right now there's nothing, 0 row affected, and this is the query matrix right now. Let's disable query matrix if it is enabled right now. Set matrix capture off, go, and now I'm going to execute a bunch of queries to create 3 different tables. So let me go to VI editor, and I'm creating from title 3 copies of the title table. Matrix 1, matrix 2, matrix 3, same content, no changes, and then go. So 3 tables are created. Now I use this select a star from query matrix. You don't expect anything, do you? Because I have already disabled that. So nothing is visible now because I have disabled that. Now let's execute this query in another window. Let me open another tab. Let me log into my system and execute this query QP matrix, query processing matrix, to allow that. This is going to execute some commands. Query processing matrix not found. Okay, cool. Let me see that. cd tune matrix.sql. Yeah, the database name is not given. Use pub tune underscore db. That's what I need to do. Now I can use the same query. Yes. Now it is executing some data, and I'm getting some data output here also. 6 rows affected. Invalid column name t matrix 3. What is the problem? I need to investigate again. 2 queries run successfully. This is a third query. What is the problem in third query? This is okay. This is okay. T underscore matrix 1 tick type T. Let me execute this command manually in the session, because I have these queries here. Yeah. Invalid column name T underscore matrix 3. Oh, there's a space here. That is a mistake. T underscore matrix type 2. Yes, that's the problem. pub underscore id. That was missing. Pubs2 pub id is pubs3 pub id, and title id is this. Now it is okay. Now it will work. Whatever the query is, fine. That is the problem. The column name dot pub underscore id. Now I can execute this. Now where the problem is, now the next query also have a problem. Number 6. I'll fix this, no problem at all. Matrix dot puibd. Correct. Let me try now. Correct syntax near equal to sign. Number 4 here, syntax dot matrix pub id equals matrix 2 pub id and t matrix 2 dot pub id equals t3 and t3 dot pubs id. Oh, parents is not closed. That's the problem. Yes, that's perfect. Now I have executed this query. Now after executing this query, let's analyze the query matrix information, finding out the most expensive query that you can do using this and in that system. Select logical input output average q text, that is query text from Sybase query matrix order by LIO average. That will show me right now there is no data. Why? Because I have not enabled the statistics. That's the big deal. That's a problem. And if I have enabled that statistics matrix, I can I can just enable that and I can update the statistics and that will work. So I can use update statistics for the table. So let me update the statistics and then I'll be able to execute these queries. And if I execute these queries again, I should be able to get the output. Let's run this. Right now nothing. Okay. All right. Do I have some data in this tables? Right now no data. That means the initial command which I gave to disable this matrix command, set matrix capture off, I disable that command. If I enable the matrix capture, and then I should be getting the output. So we'll do that again, set matrix capture on. And now let's go and let's execute the same set of statements again. In the current session we need to do that. That's a problem. Okay, matrix capture on. Matrix capture is on, and now I can execute that command which were there in my terminal. Cat, what was the command? I'm going to execute all the commands, all the queries here. Let me execute all these commands in one go. Copy, and let me execute these commands, and I can see the output here for all the queries. Now let's see if I have some data. Let me select and see if I have some data available here. Still no data. Okay, let me update the statistics of titles table. Let me verify now. Right now no data, even now no data. Okay, we are not going to waste time on this, but yes, if the data is available we would able to see that the data here. Let's continue. Let's understand how to create a user and a login. So in order to do that, first is we need to use master go, and then we can add a login. So I'm creating a login name. That's the concept of a login in Adaptive Server. Create login TSP user. Go. What is wrong with it? Create login TSP user. Yes, I'm working in master. There's a typo. I can see that. Create login. That silly mistake. It's because we have not specified the parameter, other parameter like password and the default database. Password is mandatory, so that is not mandatory, and you have to be careful about this. TSP user, create login TSP user with password, the password and the default database which you want to assign to this user. So the user is created now, and now I need to add this user inside the database. That is mandatory thing. If you are adding a user, you need to add the newly created user using sp underscore add user TSP user in the current database when you have selected PBTune database. So the database user is added. So the problem here was nothing. Now let's exit and try to log in with a newly created user. So I created the user TSP user. I'm going to log in with the TSP user, the one which I created just now, using the password. Of course I can see that's a minor issue before I press enter key. These hyphens are converted to smart hyphen, and I'm successfully logged in. Now I'm trying to go execute a option in pubs2 database. Will I be able to do to show this set option set LIO show LIO costing on? I want to enable this option on the pubs2 database. Sorry, on PubTuneDB database. Will I be allowed? No, because I don't have permissions, and we need these permissions. Set tracing need to be allowed this. Okay, that's why I'm not able to do. So what we'll do is we'll log out. We'll log in as adaptive server. Admin user. We'll assign this privilege to the user, TSP user, and then we'll try again and we'll verify that whether user is allowed or not. So use PubTuneDB. Go. Now I'm granting the permission which was required for this user, that is set tracing. That was the command which was missing, set tracing. So grant set tracing to TSP user. Must be in master database, no big deal. Use master. This is server wide privilege. Point is we can grant this permission not from the database. That is another interesting errors. So these errors are deliberately done. Some of the errors are not deliberate, let me accept it, but some of them are, yes, they are deliberate. So first thing, for example, use master, I should have given go. That was not deliberate, that accidentally happens. But now I want to grant this was deliberate. When you are working in the same database, you can't allow the tracing of that database itself. You have to be into master. So now I'm doing that. No such rule user exists. Grant set tracing to TSP user. But I created this user, right? Let me check. Tracing to TSP user. No such user role or TSP user exists. What did I create? One second. Yeah, TSP user, right? There in the default database PruneDB only. Okay, we'll do that again. Grant no such user exists. Do that in pubs2. No, it is server wide. So it is not allowed. So what we will do? We have another option. If it is not allowing, all these problems are genuine problems. So what we need to do? Let's create a role. We are creating a role, PT trace role, and then we are assigning this privilege which we were fighting to this role. So grant set tracing to OPT trace role. We are working in master database. Now will I be able to assign this role to the user TSP user? Answer is yes, and that's what you need to understand. Now I can do that. Set role OPT trace role to TSP user. That's very interesting point. And you want to display the details, you can use SP display and you will see the permissions on this user. Right, let's continue. Display login TSP user, and this you can see what all permissions are there to this user. Login name, full name, database, default language, configuration authorizations, and this is the role given to you. Default is off, but yes, now I can do that. Now alter user, alter login TSP, and then add auto activation. By default it was off, so we need to activate the role. If you notice that the default is off, so we need to activate it. Go, and we'll verify again, because this must be enabled in order to practice. So let's verify. SP display login TSP user. Now it is on. So when this user login, now this user will be able to log in. Now let's try the same command. Login as TSP user and verify that whether I'm able to log in or not, whether I'm able to use that permission or not. Set option show LIO costing on. Will I be allowed? Of course yes, and that's the point which I wanted to explain. Now exit from here. We are going to drop that user what we created. We don't require it now, so drop user. So first we need to go to the PruneDB database. Use PubTune underscore DB. Go, and now I can drop the user from the database first. Go, the user is dropped from the current database. Now I can use master, go, and then I can drop the login. ESP user will drop the login. Okay, because it does not exist in the server. There's a typo here, sorry. Drop TSP user, dropped. And now I can drop the role also which I created. Drop login, go. So that's what all about the first introductory demo of my hands-on lab, the labs which I've created. If you want to experience all this with hands-on performance tuning part, this is just lab 1. There are around 15 such lab assignments, 15-20 lab assignments are there. When you join this course at www.theskillpedia.com, you will be confident in hands-on in Sybase Adaptive Server Enterprise. I'm referring to the course available here. I'm going to show you once again theskillpedia.com. This is a website, and the course is here. You can see here I'm talking about this course. This is the first hands-on lab assignment which I demonstrated. For all the 3 courses, 3 additional courses which I launched on the website, you will see comprehensive hands-on plus theoretical explanation of each and every concept required for this EDB 634, EDB 553 and EDB 557 courses. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.